But somebody who did earn some praise this week, Montero. Uh, I don't know how else to kind of bring you in here, Cody, other than to say, given the fact that you've been covering the Tigers for, handful of years now that were not that great, and the fact that these things are so rare, is this the complete game stuff, under 100 pitches, the Maddox stuff? Was that one of the more remarkable pitching performances you've seen? Is
Yeah,
remarkable a good word?
yeah. I mean, it was arguably the best. I guess he had the Spencer Turnbull no hitter in which he, I think, hit the first batter and had a few walks. Like in terms of just being in the zone and just rolling through a game. Obviously you've seen incredible Scooble outings. Even Erod had some really, really good outings, but 27 up, 27 down, although you have three double plays in there, is literally something I had never seen before. So I do have to say the caveat, some of the worst at bats I've ever seen by a professional baseball team. The Colorado Rockies looked like they did not want to play that night. That helped immensely. But Montero strike throwing's been a huge thing for him, up and down. You know what he did? He threw strikes. He used all his pitches to success. He mixed in the curveball a little bit more, as kind of AJ and Montero himself talked about after the game. It was a little bit of a culmination of all these different things he's been working on. They just kind of all came together and clicked on the right night. I think that's why he got pretty emotional, after the game. He's someone you've seen putting in the work behind the scenes. He's always on the iPad. You see him running stair steps, under the heat of the sun. Like, you can tell he's been grinding to try to make this work. And we've talked about like he's almost an important developmental case study. Some of these upper level prospects that the Tigers need to become something. And we'll see if Montero does or doesn't. His time in the big leagues has really had a lot of, several good starts, a few pretty ugly starts. Now he's coming off his best one. It's a cool story. It was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to witness.
Do we have any idea of a grasp of like his 2025? Like, do we have any notion? Like, not something that you're going to stamp right now, but I was thinking about that and I was like, I mean, there's going to be moves, but he's been relied on a lot. You have to
Yeah.
think that this has been good for him, even this outstanding outing notwithstanding. And there are times that you feel like you would be more comfortable with the upside than some of these other guys that they throw out there, including one that we might talk about here in a second. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't think he's penciled into the rotation. I think he comes into spring probably competing maybe for that last spot. Another thing we're going to talk about all winter, but you're going to have Scooble, Olson, probably going to sign at least one free agent. I don't know what's going to happen with Kenta Maeda. I kind of think he's going to be given a shot to be in the rotation. So that's four starters right there. And then it's Mize, Montero, a few of these other guys probably competing for the last spot. Or they could just add in another free agent and have kind of all those guys for depth in case of an injury. But Montero, and then some of them are probably eventually moved to the bullpen. Montero's a guy I would like to see stick as a starter, and I have a feeling the Tigers would agree. Look, you listeners know I'm kind of the first to be like, no, come on, this guy's a reliever. Like, I don't think Montero to me seems to have the versatile pitch mix of a starter, or at least a guy you try to make a starter as long as you can. So, I mean, there's a world in which he does everything right, but still has to start next year in AAA. But could be kind of that first guy called up. Probably a guy we still see plenty of one way or another next season.
to further illustrate that thing you said about like, he puts in the work. He was signed just like a month after he turned 16. All right. And so he was born in 2000. So he goes through the teenage years and then he, gets up to, the American minor leagues and then pandemic hits. And that's the exact kind of player that could have gone through the wash of missing a
Mhm.
season. You know what I mean? And it's a huge credit to him that that didn't happen
It's a
because
great point.
they easily could have. And I'm sure there's a million Monteros
Yeah.
that just never even got close to this level because of what the pandemic, no minor league season did. You know what I mean? So because again, you gotta think that you're still adding players to the system, but you didn't get to play, so you didn't get to develop. Like I come back to that all the time. I think that I give him a lot of credit for being able to overcome that.